the old industrial area that was subject to decay, and found it very beautiful, and painted Long Island City before it became what it is today, or what it is becoming today, which is something else entirely. You'll recognize the power plant, perhaps, if you've been in Long Island City long enough, which is now a fancy condominium. And the gantries there have now been converted and cleaned up into part of a park that exists, which is also cement in a very nice place, but they used to be in just a tattered old field where they dumped asbestos and many other crappy things. So she's going to tell us about her experiences, etc., in Long Island City.
Right. I'm just going to start with the general. I took notes. I like the Ashkin School, best known for works portraying scenes of daily life in New York's poorer neighborhoods. And this was a poor neighborhood, not poor, but very blue collar when I moved here. They had a lot of factories. I had a great apartment. They had views on 3 sides, and the train ran about a couple of arms lengths from the windows, so I could paint out of any window. If I worked during the day, it was easy for me to get up in the morning and paint in my pajamas, or come home at night when I was tired and just pick it right up. It was everything out the window, very easy for me. This is out the kitchen window. This is, I could see everything from the windows. It was blue collar. I particularly enjoyed seeing all the factory workers go to lunch before daylight with their lunch buckets. I think they might have come into this building. I'm not sure. I also found it interesting that I like the Ashkin School, and that many of them had experience as newspaper illustrators, which is a little bit of a background for me. I like the newspaper. I love newspaper, just for its recording of stuff. They also mentioned here they painted gritty urban scenes, which I really like a lot. And they wanted art to be akin to journalism, which I agree with. It's generally dark in tone, capturing harsher moments of life and often portraying such subjects as prostitutes, which was in this neighborhood, drunks, butchered pigs, overflowing tenements. So that's the subject matter that I really feel that I was getting when I lived in Long Island City. I also like precisionism. They like industrialization. I'm not such a great people painter. I like to paint buildings, squares, and stuff like that. I also love George Alt. Maybe he's one of my favorite painters right now. I find it interesting that sometimes the way a painting looks, I also like the personality behind the person that's painting it. Interesting. The way they paint is sort of shows who they are themselves. For example, I like George Alt because his personal life was troubled. He was neurotic and reclusive, which I can be. He also liked the light of darkness, and he liked nighttime scenes. And I used to think that I was painting at night because I was at work during the day, but I think I really liked painting at night because of the light. So that's it. As the neighborhood was being gentrified, I wanted to work really quickly because things were changing in matters of months. For example, this is the Redbird subway train. I don't think they run anymore, right? They're in a reef now. And the car crashes are because outside my window the sun would blind people, and they were always running into the subway stations. Wow. So I did about a whole lot of those. And that's that.
That corner where she's at here is right down here at the corner of 44th Drive and 23rd Street. And, it has those big pillars which drivers didn't see around very well.
I was smashed.
Diane and I used to paint together. Sometimes we'd go out. She told me about a box that she created, a men's suit box she had, which has a lid that comes up like this. She would glue gun the canvas down in the middle of this box, and then she would have her little palette over here so she could kind of hide behind this cover, And I said, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go out painting. So we'd go to places where there were people, interiors like I liked, you know, in hotels and places. But she finally said she didn't care for that. She'd rather paint outside after all. So that was the end of that. But we had fun. Anyway, any questions?
In your process of looking out of your window and around your space, you would like document things that were happening. Did you draw or did you photograph or how did you capture that moment until you could execute
start
it?
out with a photograph and I would trace it, and then I would trace it onto a canvas with carbon paper.
Yeah.
And I'd blow it up on
Yeah.
I'd trace it. And then I would start, like a crossword puzzle, very methodically do the outlines and color in the colors. It was like really peaceful because I wasn't thinking, I was just trying to get on the canvas. Then after getting it, I would take it to the window. To me, it was fake if I didn't paint from life. Once I got the basics, I had to work from life.
Interesting combination, yeah.
Right, but I had to get a start because there's a lot of layers on this.
Right.
I know this is another painter in the other room that works the same way. You put on stuff and you take stuff off. You keep, like I would make, sometimes I'd take the whole layer off the next day because I didn't like it. So you keep pushing and pulling. But it starts with a trace and then you've got to be looking at the real thing or it's flat. You know, you've got to put that reality into it.
Thank you.
How long did you work on this piece?
This piece?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very slow.
Yeah, because it took time to
Yeah,
develop
right.
this
I'm very
stuff
slow.
together.
Sometimes 2 years. I'd work on maybe
Right.
3 or 4 paintings and put them away for 2 years and then break them out again. That's why, who's the painter? Ryder did that. That's why I love him. He was notorious. Take the painting back and work on it.
It has a feeling like Ryder in a way.
Right.
It has a nice quality of his
Right.
mysterious.
And some of Ryder's paintings are really distressed. And I like that. I sort of did that on purpose. So I cracked them for a while on purpose. And I've had people return paintings because they melted. But, you know, I like that gritty, tough texture.
You get that in that winter scene there.
Right.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, it's really worked over.
Do you work, these are, what material? Is it oil or?
Oil, and a lot of stand oil.